Hello and welcome back, and today I want to start with a confession. Like most people, I periodically suffer from a sense of imposter syndrome. It's a feeling, if I'm honest, that is made way worse by the fact that I work with some incredibly knowledgeable and experienced digital professionals. What value can I possibly add for people like that? What do I know that they don't? And these are the kinds of questions I agonise over every now and again. However, when I do, I come back to something that the e-commerce manager of Puma once said about me. He said, Paul has the ability to see what is hiding in plain sight. In short, I don't really know much more than my clients, but I do have an advantage. And that advantage is the advantage of perspective. As somebody outside looking in, I can bring a new point of view that maybe those in-house can't. But more importantly than that, I get the luxury of looking at the bigger picture because I don't have to work on business as usual. However, you don't need to be a consultant to get the opportunity to look at the bigger picture. You simply need time to step back once in a while. Well, I say simply, but it's hard to find that time, isn't it? If you work in-house, you're typically swamped with projects and campaigns and business as usual. And if you run your own agency, you spend so much of your time working on your client's business that you often neglect to work on your own. However, finding the time is vitally important, especially when you're looking at things from the user's perspective. You see, user experience isn't just made up of individual features or individual interactions. It's an entire journey, and it's how all those different parts work together that matter. It's not only the user experience either that can benefit from us stepping back and looking at the bigger picture. Lots of areas that we work in could do with us periodically reviewing them to make sure that they stay on track. Now, the most obvious example of this is a website review. When was the last time you looked at your website as a whole? We focus too much on the specific parts that we're working on at any one time, but it's actually very useful if we can look at the website in the same way as a user would look at the website, which is holistically. Talking of holistically, another area where we should be taking that holistic view is in our communications. Think about all the emails that get sent to prospects, customers and partners. And individually, they can work perfectly well, but what impression do they leave collectively? Are we overwhelming and spamming people? Are we sending them consistent messages as we talk to them? Then there's our governance. When was the last time you looked at the way all of your different governance work together? Looked at your different ways of working and your organizational policies? Are they helping or hindering you in your digital efforts? Who owns them and how are they being implemented? It's well worth taking stock once in a while to identify how these things can be improved and how you communicate internally within your organization around digital. Taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture can be approached in a variety of different angles, not just the ones I've covered so far. For example, you could look at your content and your messaging across all your channels, not just the website or email. Or you could look at your website within a broader context of a competitive review. Then there are reviews that you could use to look at aspects of the broader experience, such as accessibility, for example. However, one of my favorite approaches is to carry out a review through the prism of your sales funnel or customer journey. Are all the pieces from social to your website through to email and every other touch point working together? Are they deepening the customer relationship from that initial interest to making their first purchase, repeat ordering, and to becoming an advocate? How you approach this exercise really is up to you. What you focus on matters less than the principle of every now and again taking a step back and looking at the big picture. So my question for you is, well, what's stopping you? Can you honestly say that everything else that you're working on is more important than something like this? Just because things are urgent, which is most of our work, doesn't mean that it's important. And if the urgent things are stopping you from doing what is essential, then probably your governance framework is one of the things that needs you to look at it and step back and give it some more attention. As always, if you need help or have any questions, then drop me an email. I would love to talk to you. But before I go, can I make a little quick announcement? Today, my Encouraging Clicks Masterclass is closed to new public enrolment for another 6 months. However, I am running a workshop on designing websites that convert for Smashing Magazine later this month. And if you want to find out more about that, then check them out on their website.